The Scream team is going to Canada for the first time ever. Let's talk about that.
What's your favorite scary movie? Hey, man.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing now.
We're gonna get you.
Oh, blood on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes, death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're talking about Scream 6, just a little update here talking about where this movie is going to be filmed, but before I get into that, I'm gonna need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Alrighty, now getting into this, I'm very excited to talk about this because I think that we might be returning to a very familiar setting in the Scream universe, but I could be wrong. It's just a crazy theory I have. But the film was recently announced to be, Scream 6 that is going to be filmed in Montreal, Canada. Now, something about Montreal that I noticed after looking up some pictures of it is that it looks scarily similar to Wilmington, North Carolina, which is where they filmed the last film, which is that takes place in the city of Woodsboro, California. Now, I think that once again we could be in Woodsboro. That's very much so a possibility. But that brings up this argument of, well, how many people in Woodsboro are just gonna start killing people? Like it's happened so many times in this series. Let's go somewhere new. Let's go somewhere fresh. Have a new location. That brings a freshness to sequels when you have a brand new location. Now, what if, instead of having a new location, instead of going just some random place where Sam and Tara ultimately end up for whatever reason, what if we're going to a familiar location just done again in a new way in Scream 6? What if we're going to Windsor, Ohio, to Windsor College, where the setting of Scream 2 takes place? I think that would be really cool because you could see Tara's character going to college there ultimately, and then maybe Sam follows her for whatever reason. Sam wants to stay with her sister to protect her because that was kind of a thing established in the last film. It would make sense for them to be doing that. Tara's going to college, probably. So it would make sense for her character, her next step in life, to be going to college. I think that would make a lot of sense. Now, the reason I suggest this is, no, that's not where the original Scream 2 was filmed. It was filmed mostly in Los Angeles and some parts in Atlanta, Georgia. But here's the thing about Montreal, Canada, is that it looks a lot like Ohio. Maybe even more than both Atlanta and LA. Actually, yes, it does look a lot more like Ohio than Atlanta and LA. I wish Ohio looked like Atlanta or LA because, oh my god, I could use some heat here. There is so much snow on the ground right now. Absolutely screw Ohio. I hate living here. But I feel like it would make more sense if they filmed Windsor College here, or not here, but in Montreal. Obviously, the best place would be somewhere in Ohio, but like Canada, Montreal, Canada, sure, that looks closer than fucking Atlanta. So I wouldn't be shocked if they decided to set the next film there in congruence with Scream 2, because this is essentially the second Scream film in this new trilogy, so it would make sense if they copy the location from the original second film. Now, there are ways you can go about this without it making it the exact same film as the original second movie. Don't have the same plotline. Don't make the killer one of the parents of the original killers, because, you know, that's pretty stupid. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's also not make it the sister of one of the past killers, because I know there's been this theory out there about Leslie Mocker becoming the killer in the next movie, and I'm telling you right now, I will walk out of the theater and give this thing a nasty review, which I don't want to do. I don't think Radio Silence would do that either. I don't think they have that in mind. They brought this thing back in with Scream 5 to make Sam Carpenter the illegitimate daughter of Billy Loomis, and honestly, I thought it was cool. Besides the Force Ghost Billy stuff, it's growing on me a little bit, but it's still kind of weird. I think that they're going to recognize that was maybe not a mistake, but something that was distasteful for a lot of fans, and maybe leave that in the past. And while moving forward with the franchise, they're going to focus on the key elements that we want to continue seeing in a new Scream film that was so great about Scream 5, I think, which is like the fast pace, the bloody kills, the excellent characters, the awesome killers. I think you just keep that for the next film. You're perfect. Maybe lose the Force Ghost Billy stuff. I don't know. Or maybe bring him back, you know? I mean, it's Skeet Ulrich. I'm not going to be complaining too much if he's in this thing again as a ghost, because it's like, dude, it's Skeet Ulrich playing one of the most iconic villains of all time. How can I complain? It's cool. It's super cool. Now, the one thing I really don't want them to do, though, is that if they go this route of having it at the same location as Scream 2, I just really hope it's not a similar story. And I also hope that they don't double down on the whole Force Ghost Billy thing by bringing in Stu to be a ghost. Because, like, Everyone wants Stu to come back. I've had so many people comment about that. Actually, to clarify, it's pretty 50-50. It's pretty split on how we feel about Stu coming back, how we feel about him being a ghost. Some people don't want it at all. Some people just want to keep him dead. Some people want him back. Like, oh my God, they're gonna be super disappointed if he doesn't come back. Which it's a crazy argument, and I kind of love it. I love both sides of it, honestly. I think I'm not really so much so on one side or the other. Having Stu come back, I think if they explain it well, is like, okay, yeah. Sure, that makes sense if they decide to explain it well, because they have already retconned stuff in Scream 5. So if they decide to retcon some other stuff from the past, you could theoretically bring back Stu, and it would make sense. Now, this is another thing I want to bring up. It's very rare that this would happen, but we could actually have the setting of this next film be in Canada, in Montreal. Now, typically that's not the case with movies like when you go to your filming location of being like, oh, let's say it's Montreal, okay? You're not gonna actually have your movie set in Montreal. My case is a little different. Like Red Right Hand actually does take place in Ohio, and we're filming it mostly in Ohio. Mostly. Little key for you. Little hints as to where we might be going for the film. But for Scream 6, I feel like it's not actually going to take place in Montreal, Canada. I'm sure a lot of people are speculating that. The one really cool thing about the setting being outside of the United States is it's the first time a Scream movie has been filmed outside of continental USA. That's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. That's a fresh new step for the series, I guess. I'm not sure if it's like cheaper or whatever, like what the case was for filming it in Montreal opposed to like Wilmington or something else. Could it be because of a setting change? Could it be because we're going to college? We're taking Tara to Windsor, Ohio. Or are we once again going to be in Woodsboro for this next film? Because like I said, Montreal, Canada does look a lot like Wilmington, North Carolina, where they filmed the last movie. So I would not be shocked if they did decide to set this thing in Woodsboro once again. But also it brings up that question of how many people in Woodsboro want to kill people? Like, what? It's starting to get a little ridiculous. What do you guys think? Do you think there's someone else in Woodsboro, California that wants to get a little stabby, or are we going somewhere else where more killers could pop up? Leave me a comment about it down below. Thank you all so much for watching this very quick Scream 6 update. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, make sure to follow me on all my socials. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. If you just look up Killjoy Jake, I should come up. Also check me out on Facebook and TikTok. I rarely talk about those, but hey, you know, I got those as well. Check them out. Sure, why not? Thank you all again for watching this video. If you guys could support that Kickstarter, the link for that will be in the description below. I promise you we have a crazy movie in the works, and I would greatly appreciate that if you guys could support me over there on Kickstarter. We just need to get the $5 grand. That's not even that much for a movie. Let's do it. Let's get there. So if you guys could check that out, the Kickstarter link will be in the description below. Thank you all again for watching, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.